There we go. Okay. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? We got Kathy's here, JJ's in the house, Sonia Klein, Delbert Jones. Let's see. Oh, I just got my notification that I'm live. Well, that's good to know. Carol Prince is here. We got Kimberly Swesson. I don't know. I'm not sure how to say that. I apologize. Uh, Marsense, Bobby Farron, The Garden Life, Ken Zoe. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys have had a good week. And here we are. It's Friday. So, first of all, happy Halloween to everybody. Uh, I always enjoyed Halloween. I'll tell you quickly one of the reasons why. Um, I wasn't allowed to do it as a kid. My mother was a Jehovah Witness, still is. We celebrated nothing. Um, so when I had my own kids, I wanted to make sure that they could go out and trick or treat and do their thing, and and enjoy that. And I loved giving candy to the kids. I always thought that that was awesome. So you're not going to start. No, no, do not start. God, hella, stop. I was going to say a bad word, but I caught myself. uh, so anyway, yeah. So to me, it was like with the different holidays, it was always really important to me to make sure that the kids were able to have that because I didn't. So, you know, and I will tell you right now, out here, I get so many trick or treaters. I'll probably get the same number of trick or treaters this year as I got last year. Can you guess? I'm going to, real quick, just for fun. How many trick or treaters do you think I got last year? What are you doing, Clyde? How many do you think I got last year, guys? Hell, stop, don't start. Stop. Yeah, you guys are pretty smart. Zero. I got zero. Nobody comes. Nobody comes out here. I mean, well, like I said again, my driveway's 8/10 of a mile long. They're not gonna. And actually, if they're gonna, if anybody that has kids out here, they'll take them to a nearby town and they'll do the trick or treating there. They don't really trick or treat out here. So, but yeah, so we just we don't get any trick or treaters, but that's okay. That's all right. But anyway, so lots actually to talk about. Oh my gosh. Did you see, like, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I'm sorry. It just couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Prince Andrew, stripped of all his titles. He is been banished but he can stay until the first of the year where he's at now. Then he's going to be banished to some other castle or where other living residents where he'll have to go live there after the first of the year. Like I said, he's lost his titles and all that goes with it. And so, but hey, you reap what you sow. But the question that I would have, okay, the question that I would have, um, right, right, Delbert, that's funny. Um, how come he's the only one that they're going after? Why is Prince Andrew the only one? Now, I do believe that there was flight logs that they showed of people, you know, that went to the island and spent time on the island. A lot of celebrities on that list, a lot of politicians on that list, a lot of people in positions of power. Why isn't there any investigation into any of those? That's kind of my question. Don't get me wrong, Prince Andrew deserves exactly what he's getting. I have no, hell, stop. No, we're not doing this tonight. I don't care. No, no, stop. Behave yourself. I just give her no attention, folks. She's just so deprived. No, stop. No, no. Um, it's like literally, if I pick up the camera and go outside, she's like, "Oh, it's camera time." So when I do a live stream, it's the same thing. I could sit on this laptop. I kid you not. I could sit on this laptop for 5 hours straight, and she'll never bother me. The minute I do a live stream, she's got to get up in my face. So she's a piece of work. But I'm not in the mood. No. But she's no, Hella, stop. Enough. No. Oh, okay. No, you're not going out. No, stop it. No. Enough. No. It's worse than having a child, I swear to God. She's such a snot. No, Ella. Why? Why are you acting like a jerk off? Stop. No. If she keeps this up, I'm going to have to. I'm very mean. I am very mean to her. Did you need something? Watch. Do you want to go out? Oh. All right, you snot. Go. Stay. Oh my God. Once she gets it in her head, she ain't letting it go. So I kind of have to let her go. She must have heard something. So yeah, she's gonna have the last word. Yep, and I'm gonna give in. Because she just wasn't gonna stop, as you could see. She was not going to stop. All right. Before we really jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome moderators lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate it. I would also ask if you see anybody engaged in stupidity in the comments to not engage with them. Let my moderators take care of them. And I do appreciate that. When a girl's got to go, she's got to go. Yeah, I hear you. But I just thought she was being a pain like normal. But no, she was definitely wanting to go out after something. So I'll give her like 10 minutes and then I'll call her in. All right. So now here's what I find interesting. Okay. So this just happened obviously today. One was in New Hampshire, and I think the other one was Connecticut. Two different judges. And this is what kills me about this, okay? This is what kills me about this. So two different judges said that, no, you have to use their decisions, right? You have to use these other funds that are available for emergencies, right? There's like 5.2 billion in this fund for like natural disasters, earthquakes and all that type of stuff. They're like, no, you have to use that. Oh, it's Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Okay, thank you. Well, that doesn't surprise me then. And I'm sure, I noticed that they didn't say liberal judges, but we're going to assume. Okay, but anyway, they were... that no, you have to use those funds. Who were they, right? Who were they? So that they basically said, yeah, Obama appointees. Ta-da! There's Mr. Clyde. But they have till the 3rd to get back to them, and I'm sure there'll be. I'm curious to see how it plays out. But I don't see how a judge in a state can tell the federal government what they can and cannot do or what they have to do. So I find that ironic, to be honest with you. It's just games. And why would you wait if you were a judge and you had that power to do so? Why would you wait to the last minute to do it? Does that make any sense either? Right? Oh, yeah, stop, Clyde. Come on. But anyway, the benefits are running out as of tomorrow, right? SNAP benefits are running out as of tomorrow, and WIC. And like I said, it's not a good thing. It's just not a good thing overall. But it's a game that's being played. One side's blaming the other side's blaming the other. But the reality is this: 53 Republican senators and 2 Democratic senators have voted to reopen the government, and keep things going. And all the rest of the Democrats, and I think 2 independents, have voted no. That's the reality. Could they open up the government? They could. Their big bugaboo, okay, their big bugaboo for the Democrats, the one thing they want more than anything else, is the end of the year. The subsidies are supposed to end for Obamacare, right? So that they want that to continue. So with a huge price tag attached to that, and so that's going to run out at the end of the year if something doesn't become agreed to or worked out. And the Republicans have said, they've stated very clearly, we're not doing that. That's not part of this negotiation to open up the government. That you're not going to, force our hand with that type of situation. Guys, we got 251 in the chat. We have 86 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. And I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that as well. So there's this game now being played where these judges, and I'm going to tell you what, if you look at all the things that have gone on and all the things that Trump has tried to do, right? The different things that he's tried to do, every time he's being blocked by liberal judges. They try, and all it is delay tactics to play this game, to say, look what we did, and we tried to stop this, and and there's a lot of the stuff they can't stop, so then it has to go through the whole process. And like I said, I don't think you're going to see. Now, I know they did transfer funds, so the military's getting paid. I did see that. They took it out of 3 different places. Did you see that chart? Who received EBT? It shows the percentage, and none are Americans. Oh, a lot of Americans are getting EBT, Larry. I mean, there's a lot of Americans getting. So yeah, there's. I don't know who else is getting it, and I did not see any chart, but there's a lot of American citizens that are getting food stamps. A lot. So I don't know what you were looking at, but that's definitely not right. But like I said, it's not a good thing. The fact that people that are working hard, or trying, single moms that are trying, they got a few kids or whatever, and they're working, and WIC and food stamp supplement, they're being able to feed their family. So, I mean, what do we see? What does the news show us, right? What does the news show us? What do these idiots that go online and say, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, they're showing you a small microcosm of people that, and here's what kills me. This is what kills me, okay? Now, listen, I'm fat. I'll be the first to admit I'm overweight, okay? When you have somebody that is 5'3" and weighs 250 pounds plus, and they're on there crying how they're not going to be able to get their food stamps so that they can eat, I don't have a lot of empathy for somebody that's a fat slob that, and their kids are probably miniature of what they are because they all eat the same. So, but yeah, okay. So, yeah, Auntie, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. and maybe I'm judgmental in that. I'm sorry, but it's to me, it's like obviously you are eating too much, or eating the bad stuff. But the the food stamps is $9 billion a month. I never knew it was that much money that went out for food stamps. That's a ton. That's a ton. JJ said a lot of them are saying they refuse to work as well. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. They don't want to work. No, they don't work. They want all the benefits. We're supposed to take care of them, and they're never going to work. So yeah, that's an issue. That is absolutely an issue. So, but you know, my son told me last night they did not want me going to the grocery store alone. One of them will go with me. That's probably a good idea, Carolyn. That's probably a really good idea. Yep. Yeah, Larry was saying I've seen some of them are getting 4K a month. I've heard that, but I don't know how true it is because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because when you go to apply for food stamps, they're not giving out money like that. They're not giving out that much. So, but I mean, it could be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true. But you know, but anyway, even if they do force the government to use that fund, now let's say they did, okay, that's a disaster fund. That's $5.2 billion set up if there's like a major earthquake, a hurricane, tornadoes ripping through, and they have to go. So where's that money come from after that? Then that's a good question, right? If they make them use that 5.2 billion, and then the next disaster comes, what happens then? And I also heard, I did read this, okay, talking about the food stamps. Walmart makes like $2 billion a month off of people using food stamps. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. But it's based on household size, right? Like I told you guys, okay, like I had gotten one time I did food stamps that I had needed, I needed help. I had gotten hired for the new job, but it didn't start for like 6 weeks. So I had a window of 6 weeks. I'm not going to get another job. I've already been hired. I had to wait. It was a county job. So it was all that whole process with the county. Anybody that's worked for the county or the state, you know exactly what I'm talking about with dealing with that. But what happened was, I mean, and this is going back, God, the twins just turned 24. I'm going to say they were like 10 or 11 at the time. We were still in Greece, New York at the time. That I do remember. We were still in Greece. And so I had gone down, and they actually asked me, do you want this, and this as well? And I'm like, no, I don't need anything else. I just need food stamps. And that's all I took. Okay. Just, but we were getting $4.95 a month for the kid, both of the kids and myself. So that's what we got back then. So it wasn't like we were getting some exorbitant amount of money. It wasn't a huge, but it helped. I will tell you that right now, but it's like that was definitely, an eye opener as well, that I wasn't as ready as I needed to be and wasn't prepared. So I made sure that that was never an issue again. So that was never an issue again. But yeah. My mom tried SNAP, but only got $10 per month. So after a few months, she stopped it. Yeah, it's like I said again. A lot of it's based on your income, what you're bringing in, and all those type of stuff. But it's just, I mean, a lot of people are using them. The food stamps. They're using it to buy candy and junk food, and I think that some places are now stopping that. They're saying, no, if you're going to go and you're going to get food stamps, it needs to be for healthy purchases, not pop, and sugary drinks and stuff like that. So, but it's, now and I don't know how much has changed because I mean, obviously, it's been forever since I did it, but Hey, Ed, when do you think you're starting on the new dog run? I'm not extending the dog run, Larry, for any time soon. I don't know. He keeps asking the same question all the time in the comments and here. Larry, if with the dog run, they got plenty of room right now of where they're at. My focus actually is going to be making a dog house before I do anything else. If I do decide to extend that dog run, which I do want to do, I want to make the dog run even bigger. Okay. But that's going to be down the road. I just saw a video of a woman who said 12K was deposited in her card and she spent it. Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot. Yes, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure things happen like that. I don't know. Starting in January in Iowa, pop candy and other taxable foods are no longer SNAP eligible. Good, they shouldn't be. It should be for healthy choices to feed, people. It shouldn't go for junk. I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean, if you're looking for free, right, it shouldn't be unlimited to whatever you desire. But uh, like I said, it'll be interesting to see because they said this judge that is trying to make them use. And again, even if they use the 5.2 billion, right, that's still not all of it. That where are they coming up with the rest of the money? You're talking $9 billion a month. I never knew it was that much, guys. I never knew it was that much. I mean, that's insane. That's I mean, you can't even fathom that. I mean, like when the lottery, right, gets up to a couple times, it's got up to $1 billion. And after they would take all the taxes out, if you got the lump sum, you're going to end up going home with $400 million. So whoever won that individually, that's about what they're going to take home is about $400 million. That's more money you can spend in your lifetime. I mean, to put it into perspective, that's and that's 1 billion. So I mean, it's just the amount of, and no matter how good the intentions are of any program to help, okay, no matter how good the intentions are, there's always going to be people that know how to circumvent the system, take advantage of the system, and screw it over. I mean, that's just always the way it has been. So what do we got? 333 in the chat, guys. We got 145 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you get that bell icon, hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Give me 1 second. I'm going to call for Hella and see if she's ready to come in. Hold on, guys. Go on, girl. Hella. I want you inside. Come on. No, I want you inside. Yeah, she must not be done with patrol yet. I'll give her like 10 more minutes. And she'll probably, a lot of times I'll give her a little time and open it up and then she's right there. So she must still be on patrol. Anyway, I've worked most of my life, fought for almost a year for disability, got that. My health has got worse, and now I'm fighting for help because of illegal immigration and Democrats. It's just the whole system is messed up. I know that like when that would be really another thing too. Drug and alcohol testing if you want food stamps. Yeah. Well, here's what kills me with a lot of these people that get online, right? And complain and say they're going to steal and do all this and stuff, right? I've always noticed several things about them. Their nails are always done, right? They got the nice nails. They got their nails. So that costs, okay, to get your nails done. They got the fake eyelashes. Got to have those, of course. Hair is just perfect, and they got all the makeup on. So they do all this stuff, but yet you're crying because you don't have help. I'm sorry, but I really have an issue with that. And you should always strive to look decent, okay? But do you need fake nails? Do you need fake eyelashes? Probably not. And if you can't afford to do other things, how are you affording to do that? You know, that's that's kind of my thing with that. You got some man on the side that's helping you out and he's taking care of some of these things, and that's what happens a lot of the time, you know, or whatever is being done. But yeah, it's just it's craziness, absolute craziness. But I'm hoping to be off of food stamps within the next few weeks. Job search is a bit harder than anticipated. It happens. You know, yeah, the freeloaders are the biggest complainers, generally so, you know. Well, like I said, you see these videos, and I always wonder when I see some of these videos, are these spoofs? Are people like making a mockery or a joke about it? Because the entitlement mindset with some of these people that come on there, um, it's insane to me, you know. Sadly, people will sell food stamps to get non-food items, get cash to buy cigarettes. You know, yeah, I hear you. No, Tess, I hear what you're saying, and that happens too. Yep, 50 cents on a dollar or whatever it is that they're doing. I've heard that. I've heard that. But yeah, like I said, it's just with these two judges saying that, oh no, you have to use this funding. They can't make the government use that funding. That see, I want that to be real clear. Just because Joe Blow judge says no, you have to do this, they're probably in the White House going, yeah, right. You know, I mean, again, that's a game that's being played. Um, you've seen that play out in other things that these judges have tried to do, and what ends up happening with that, not what they want. So, again, there is yeah, I heard Amazon is laying off a bunch of people. Yeah, I heard it was 30,000. JJ's saying 40, but I heard it was 30,000. I want you to think about that too. 30,000 jobs gone, you know. And there's a lot of businesses that are still closing. You know, we keep being told, right? We keep being told everything's great, the economy's booming, things are getting better, but you got a bunch of businesses closing, you have layoffs happening. So that doesn't bode that things are getting better. You know, it just doesn't bode that things are getting better. So it just, it's, yeah, there's a lot of people, and it's not just food, it's housing and everything else as well. So, but, yeah, people today cannot afford an emergency fund. So as those people are let go, they won't have the financial backup. Well, and that's the other part too. That's a good point, Tess. The most people, and when I say most, I'm going to say probably 90% of people, and I'm guessing on this. I don't know what the percentage is, but I would say it's a majority, way more than that live paycheck to paycheck. Because what happens is a lot of times when people get a high paying job, they live above their means. So, I can get this, I can get that, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I'm going to be fine. It doesn't always work that way. It just doesn't always work that way. And then you get in a hole. And then if you lose that job and you don't have that money coming in, then they live off credit cards until the credit cards are maxed out. And then what happens? Then homes are being foreclosed on. I wonder what the numbers are with that, because I'm not really hearing a lot about that. But with so many people being in financial hardship, with everything costing so much more, I wonder what those numbers are. What are the foreclosure numbers? How many people are losing their homes and all those type of stuff? Tess says, when I was a social worker, I heard of so many working homes say they didn't have the financial backup because they couldn't afford to save up. And I don't disagree with that. When you have kids, and you're trying to keep your head above water, you do what you have to do. So that's from what I hear, and we appear to be approaching a housing bubble. close to 2008. Well, we're also, the stock market is so overbought right now. It is, you're looking at 1929 all over again. Same indicators are there, same things are happening. So yeah, it's a really crazy time for all of that. So we got, what do we got? With 376 in the chat, we're at 180 thumbs up. We got to see if we can hit 300 again. That'd be like 3 live streams in a row, I think, where we would hit 300 thumbs up. So let's set that as a goal for fun. We got like a half an hour, guys. So we need 120 thumbs up. So I'll ask until we get it, and then I'll stop asking, I promise. So if you want to shut me up about the thumbs up, there's like 200 of you in here right now that haven't done it. So hit that thumbs up, shut me up, and I'll be happy. All right. I appreciate that ahead of time. But anyway, again, moving forward here, tomorrow is the 1st, right? And usually it's like some people get their benefits on the 1st, some get them on, the 3rd, other people get them on the 6th. It really depends, and probably on the other days in between there. But usually in that first week of the month, that's when their benefits kick in. And so obviously, nothing is going to happen tomorrow. Nothing is going to happen Sunday. So that's why they're talking. That judge was saying, they need to get back to her by the 3rd, which is the Monday. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. But again, right, this could all be avoided. All of this could be avoided. You got a clean CR. That no pork in there, no Republican pork in there. Just pass that, and you keep everything going while you negotiate. But they're not going to do that. The Democrats are not, because they know if that happens and they reopen the government, let's say from right now, they reopen the government for 7 weeks, right? That puts us at the end of the year. Those subsidies run out and they're gone, and that's done. The Obama era, crap is going to be over. So obviously a very big failure. With that system, they're talking about the rates of the healthcare. If you are, the Affordable Care Act, right, is supposed to double, for the cost for people. So, yeah, the Dems want 1.5 trillion added on for pork, basically. And I love how they say it. Like when they're asked directly, and tell me if I'm wrong. Excuse me. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, but when they are asked directly, are you looking to get benefits for illegal immigrants? What do they say? Their standard answer comes back, we want health care for everyone. That's what they say. So to me, that's a yes. And I'm sorry, but our hard-earned tax dollars should not be going to supplement people that are illegals in this country, for people that don't want to work, that won't help themselves. They try to deflect. Exactly. But I thought if you resign, you don't qualify for unemployment if your ex-boss is asked. If you resign, yes, you don't. Nobody qualifies. You have to be let go to qualify for unemployment. I don't know why you're asking that question. We're going to have the same budget fight on November 22nd, is what Robert is saying. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I said, it's all games, all of it. Oh yeah, I got to go check and see. Give me 1 second, guys. Stay. Right, I got to pick you up. Listen. Come on, girl. Allah. Not yet. She'll be back. They always are. I'll tell you this real quick. So at night, when I let the puppies out of the run, Like in the morning, I take them one at a time and put them in the run because they will run off. Okay. And if hell is out there, whatever one comes out first, if I just let them out, they're gone. So I'm trying to avoid that problem because I don't want my dogs getting shot. Okay. So, anyway, so what happened was at night when I go to put them to bed, that's when they get their treat of the canned food. And so what ends up happening is I end up, I let them all out so they can run around for a few minutes. Well, I don't know what they saw last night, but there was something. And they went up that hill, man, like in a line, just up the hill, and they were gone. And I'm like, oh, I was so irritated. So they were gone for like 15 minutes, and then the three boys all came back together, so they came back, and I got them all locked up. And then I'm like, okay, where's Kali? And so then eventually, probably 5 minutes later, there she was, but I worry about them. I don't want nothing to happen to them. So, but anyway, going back to the stock market, talking about that, stock market is way overbought right now. I mean, way overbought. So that's setting itself up for a major crash in the stock market. There's a housing bubble, like somebody had said earlier, to rival 2008. So you got that issue. People are overextended, and now you're getting, like say, at least 30,000 layoffs from Amazon. A lot of other places are laying off too. It's just a really, really, tough time for everybody. Yeah, I see Trump wants to start nuclear testing again as well. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get a lot of stuff that goes on, but I mean, obviously, I'm not in the inner circle and I don't get privileged information, so I don't know. So right now we're 73 thumbs up away, guys, from 300 thumbs up. So let's keep them coming, please, and thank you very much. But yeah, it's just it's great. Oh, that could be a troll. Yeah, you're right. Probably. Yeah, who knows? Could be. Me and my cousin have 9 kids. He works for a ski resort. I work from home, but all but one child is grown. We don't ask for help, and we prepared hard for hard times on hardly any money. It can be done without SNAP. Oh, you know what, Misty? I don't disagree with that, but you got to put that effort in there. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've talked about if you like, there's other ways to get money to prepare. I've talked about if you live in a state that has a bottle and can return law, like New York had, like down here they don't. West Virginia does not. But in New York, every can is a nickel, right? So you're paying that up front, and people still throw them out like crazy. And so, if you had to, you could go out and collect bottles and cans, and it adds up really, really quickly, to be honest with you. I've done it, so I know, And so, there was, excuse me, there was one way that you could utilize that money to prepare, and that's one of the things that I had always said. Food banks were another option to be able to get extra food to utilize to prepare as well. So, I mean, there are ways that if you get creative, right? Here's my problem with a lot of people is this, okay? If you have money for cigarettes, if you have money for alcohol, if you have money for drugs, if you have money for scratch-off tickets and lottery tickets, right? If you got rid of that expenses, you will have extra money to work with. It's as simple as that. Especially with the cost of cigarettes now, it's outrageous. But, people are still going to do what they're going to do. And they're going to cry poor mouth the whole time. Like I told you, I saw those people that are begging, for money, panhandlers, and they're smoking cigarettes and they have an animal with them. So you're not hurting that bad, obviously, because if you were hurting that bad, you wouldn't be smoking and you wouldn't have animals. So that's just my take. Smokes are $12 here in Minnesota. I think in New York they're like 15, something like that. I mean, it's outrageous, outrageous. So, but yeah, like I mean, I smoked as a kid. I think I've told this story. I started smoking at 12, and I quit when I was 16. But by the time I was 16, I was up to 2 packs a day, and I quit because they were raising the price of cigarettes from 75 cents a pack to $1 a pack. And there was other factors. I quit for 3 reasons. One was that they were raising it from 75 cents a pack to $1 a pack. And I was like, no way I'm paying $1 a pack. I got tired of people mooching cigarettes off me because I would say, go buy your own, but then you're an a-hole because you won't share and all that kind of stuff. And the third reason was I could feel what it was doing to me at 16, and I'm like, man, this is not good. That was before all the labels and warnings and how bad cigarette smoking is for you and all that. But yeah, I just, so I quit at 16. Now, I'll smoke a cigar once in a while. I will tell you that, but very infrequently, very infrequently. And, but yeah, it's just, to each their own, do your thing, but don't cry poor mouth if you have money for cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, and scratch off tickets, because then you're not so bad off. So I did the same thing. There was no way I was going to pay $1 for a pack. Yeah, that kind of just tells us how old we are, Kim. So we're old. But what's $1? Yeah, at the time it was a lot of money, though. At the time I was like, nope, not doing it, not doing it. Anyway, so yeah, it's craziness, guys. Absolute craziness. Started preparing with $5 a month, then went to 10. Now I count prepping as a bill of $100 a month. It can be done. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you budget it in your budget, I did the series, prepping on $10 a week. So, it can be done. And $10 is nothing. One less trip to McDonald's, right? One less of the Fropa, Lopa, Jopa special coffee that you like to have or whatever. You know what I mean? There's so many ways that you can come up with $10. But people will come on here and go, oh no, I can't do it. I can't. I hate those excuses. I do, because you can. You just don't want to. So there's the problem. And I will tell you what, the people that will not help themselves, when the time comes, right? When the time comes, they're going to be crying the loudest. They're going to be crying the loudest. So, that's cigarettes in Canada are like $20 plus a pack. Unless native, then they're cheaper. Yeah, well, the reservations, the cigarettes are cheaper. So, but yeah, it just, like I said, everybody's got an excuse, folks. Everybody's got an excuse, and it happens all the time. But like I said, what we're facing right now with the situation, I don't think that they can force the government to use that $5.2 billion that's in the emergency fund reserve. I don't think that they can make them use that for the SNAP benefits. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah. I started watching your channel like 9-10 years ago, and that helped me a lot with budgeting, as you stated. Oh, cool, Misty. I'm glad to hear that. So, but again, if there's a will, there's a way. I've had people that are on very fixed incomes tell me, because of what I said and, and explaining things and showing what you can do, they've been prepping that way. And I just, I think that it's a really, just one of those things. Yeah, let me see about her again. Come on, Ella. There she is. The princess. is back. Yes, it's not. All right, she's back. She's been off on her adventure. Did you have a nice little outing? Did you do patrol, Miss? Yeah. But anyway, I have pepper plants growing inside now. I garden in my kitchen porch this year. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. The woman with the channel Disable and Prepping shows how she preps. Yeah, like I said, there is a lot of information out there, folks. Canning, come on, down you go. Canning can be a big part of it. You know what I mean? The military personnel got paid from anonymous donors, not backup funds. I just was reading JJ that, and they were talking about that. They took money from 3 different places to be able to pay the military, and that's like billions of dollars as well. It's a tremendous amount of money, you know. But there's a lot of people that are not, getting paid right now, and that's an issue. No, she better not be looking for a boyfriend. No, 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 no. We want no more puppies from Miss Hella. And they really don't get paid what they should. Well, you're right about that. Definitely right about that. The military should be getting paid more. That's why so many people, once they get in and they leave, if they do 4 or 8 years or whatever it is they do, instead of saying, yeah, I'll stay for 20 and take a retirement, they can make more money in the private sector, depending on what their job is and stuff like that. And so they get out, and that happens. But yeah, there's like I said, there's a tremendous amount of issues. So all right, we're gonna do egg count here in just a moment. But we got 259 thumbs up. We need 41 more to hit 300, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. And so I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. All right, so let's go ahead and do egg count. So 14 hens altogether. So total number of eggs, yes or no for Miss Betty White, and how many of the Easter eggers laid today. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. Just looking at your answers here, guys. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in. So Wednesday, we had real good egg count day. Yesterday, I got 9 eggs yesterday. I didn't think anybody was going to get today's because it was so completely off. So nobody did get it today. Okay. We ended up with 6 eggs today, no Miss Betty White, and only 1 Easter egger laid today. So I don't know what was going on today, but they were not laying today. I went out and checked like 3 times, and I'm like, no kidding, look at that. So yeah, they were just not laying eggs today. So yeah, I don't know if they're molting or not, but they've been laying pretty good. I know it's been colder, so I mean that's definitely, the weather change and being overcast. Like today it was overcast the entire day. Oh, and to let you guys know, so I had my manual for my inverter, right? So I grabbed that. Brian had sent me. Actually, hold on a second. If I can pull it up, I'll actually show you. Let's see. Hold on. I will show you this. Okay, so see, I don't know how well you're going to see those, but it gives the settings what you got to have, like 1 through 23. Okay, it's got all the different settings of where I needed my um, inverter charge controller to be at. So I just couldn't remember how I had to set it up to do it. So I got my manual out. I called Brian and said, "Hey, give me a holler." And then I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Let me just go grab the manual. It can't be that difficult." So I grabbed the manual, looked at the manual today, and went, "Okay, this is how I get in." And I went in, and I was in the middle of putting all the settings in, and then Brian called me, and I told him, I said, "Well, I don't need you. I appreciate it, but I got it figured out." Um, but that's all set. I fired up the generator today. So really, the first true hour and a half, maybe I ran the generator. I think I was very low. I was down to like 20% of a charge on my on the batteries. So it definitely needed a boost. So I ran it till it got up to 93%, and then I turned it off, and then just did it like that. So we're back on track that way. It's that time of year. The days are shorter. Obviously, we're 2 months away from the shortest day of the year, and or actually 7 weeks now, but because I think it's the 21st is the winter solstice, and then the days will start getting longer again. But it. Oh, I got to tell you this too. But anyway, so I got it all set up and we're good to go. And so if I need to run the generator, I can do it now. It's not kicking it off, and it was working, and everything was great. So got that done today. So I was going to do it yesterday, and I'm like, all right, I got it enough where I get through tonight. I'm going to do it today, and so I did. I got it squared away today. But so that's yeah, and it's yeah, but that's not going to make any difference, Kathleen, with the time change this Sunday. It's not going to make any difference because it's just dark so early. That's not going to affect how much sunlight I'm getting on a day. But again, we've had like 5 days in a row where we've just not had good weather as far as getting any kind of sunshine in. If I get a couple hours of sunshine, my batteries will top right off. So but because of the fact that you're still getting some, but you're not getting enough. So that's why I had to run the generator. So and that's okay. I mean, that's all part of the game of it, right? So, but well, it was something I was going to share with you guys. God, what was I going to tell you guys? I was going to tell you something. Somebody had made a comment about something. I'm trying to remember what they said. I don't know. It's gone. So it's gone. But yeah, it's just and the chickens will go into a molting session, where they change out feathers and stuff like that. But yeah, we're just like I said, we're just trying to get through and do what we got to do in the wintertime. We definitely do burn more gas, so definitely need to take care of our business. So, but what was behind the time change twice a year? Actually, it was they had said something of why they did it originally. Uh, I don't remember exactly what it was. It's something to do with business, but a lot of people are wanting to do away with daylight savings time to just keep the time one time, which would be great. That would be great. Greetings all. I got home to no power at just after 8 p.m. Back up and running with my own power and internet. 36K without power here in upstate or oh, so no power up there, huh? That sucks. I know that there was some winds. I talked to my mom today, and she was saying that there was like 43-mile-an-hour winds where she was at, and that's over more towards Buffalo. And so yeah, it was. wasn't pleasant. So you knew there was going to be power outages. Ah, that's a good question. Yes, somebody's asking, Ed, thoughts on 31 Atlas. Um, you know, it remains to be seen, but could it be an alien craft? It could be. I'm not saying it's not. They're doing a lot of dismissing of things, but it's a really interesting thing. There's definitely some anomalies with that don't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, there's flooding in New York. New York City was, I think they said 2 people died in basements with flooding in New York City because of so much rain, which, again, there's another natural disaster, which why we need, high wind warning till tomorrow, winds 40 to 40 to 40, 40 to 50. Okay. I was saying 40 to 40 is the same. So 40 to 50 mile an hour. Yeah. And that's going to do damage. That's going to bring trees down, take down power lines. I mean, that's just what happens, with that, unfortunately. But I just wanted to pop in while my kids go through the haunted house. Oh, that's cool, Lady Kicks. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I hope they're having fun. But yeah, I think it's interesting, the whole thing with that they don't know what it is, but the way it's moving and stuff like that. And they're talking about, the possibility of propulsion and all those things, and it's heading here. So that'll be interesting to see what that ends up being. I don't know. Does anybody know what the time frame they said that it will be going by or coming near the Earth? Does anybody have that information? Because I really haven't looked at it a lot, to be honest with you. Because to me, it's going to be, it's going to be what it's going to be. But they said it's bigger than Manhattan, so that is huge. Saying December 24th. Okay. All right. I mean, so there's time. You got some time there. But now somebody else is saying saw the 29th of October. Well, that's already passed. So couldn't be that date. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that ends up being. So what do we got? We're at 293, guys. We need 7 more thumbs up. So please do that. Let's get that up over 300. We got 2 minutes. So if you would do that, that would be awesome. Bring on the rapture. Do you realize there's no such thing as a rapture? For those of you that think that there is, there's no such thing as a raptor. But that's okay. Believe what you would like. That's all right. That was made up in the 1800s. So anyway, to each their own. I'm sorry, I'm kind of more reality based. That's just me. But the Hopis, the Hopis have their Google says December 19th. Okay, Tanya, thank you very much for that. But the Hopis have their history, and they're saying it's coming. It'll be a cleansing, so that'll be interesting to see. That will definitely be interesting to see. All right, we need 2 more thumbs up, guys. 2 more thumbs up to put us over. Now we need 1 more. Oh, I love ancient history. I just love history in general, because if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it, and that's a huge thing. So you have to be aware of what's happened in the past. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people will dismiss like the Hopis and all that type of stuff, but that's based on information that they got. You know what I mean? That's something that's been there for a very, very long time. So I don't dismiss any of that. I find it fascinating. If it is an ancient, or if it is aliens coming back, if it is the Anunnaki coming back, right? That could be. I don't know. So am I prepared for aliens? Well, not really. That's not one of the things that I was like, God, I got to really get ready for aliens. So But anyway, guys, I am going to jump off. So we got 311, so we got past that 300. That's awesome, and I thank you for that. I'm going to. It also says in the Bible that only 144,000 shall inherit the kingdom of God. Why are you not, or is that you're just dismissing that one? Just saying. Just saying. There's a lot of things that are in the Bible. Doesn't make it true. Anyway, yeah, the word rapture is not in the Bible. You're right. So, but anyway, we'll get off that subject because that's a sore subject with people, and I know that. I'm going to leave you with STD, guys. Step, thing, and day. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you set realistic goals, you will be able to reach them. Okay. And it's one step at a time, it's one thing at a time, and it's one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you work methodically, you can do it. And the only one that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is going to be you. That's it. Please be safe. Keep prepping. I'll see you guys all on Sunday. We'll see what plays out here over the weekend. It should be interesting. I think by the time we get to the 7th or the 8th, then it'll be really interesting depending on what our government decides they're going to do. So, the blame game is in full force, of course, but stay vigilant, take care of your business, watch out for yourselves. Please be safe, okay? Have a great Halloween. Hope the kids get lots of candy and enjoy themselves. All right, I will talk to you all later. Prep Nurse 1 out for now.